Jeb Burnett is in studio with us. We'll have Jess Essex on the phone a little later. Do want to say this. Yesterday was Father's Day, and I don't know any of us that have become outdoorsmen, fishermen, hunters, or whatever, that we didn't get led that way by our fathers. My dad was not a big hunter. I was not a big hunter, still not a big hunter. But we fished all the time. And we want to talk about what that means to folks out there. And I'll lead with you, Jeb. How'd your dad get you going? You might want to move that microphone up to you.
Well, let's first introduce Jeb. We have with us in the studio tonight Jeb Burnett of Armtac. You make quality suppressors. You're on top of that, and one of the premier suppressor silencer makers in America. And we've been friends for a long, long time. And I met you actually through your father, Johnny. And I went to Argentina with Johnny when I was in the throes of cancer recovery. I'd already gotten through treatment and everything, but I was kind of slowly coming back. And John comes to me and says, "Hey, going to Argentina with some guys, and like you to come." I said, "Man, I don't know. I don't know that I could afford it, John. Don't worry about it. Just come." And that was something very kind that he did for me. And I always
who he was,
and I've got a lot of dads in this world, but I always considered your dad to be kind of my own. He was just a great guy, and here you are. You've sort of taken up the mantle, and that's what we're doing. We're a day late, but we're honoring our fathers today.
Yeah. Well, he always considered you another son as well, so. The feeling was mutual, but yesterday was it was a little bittersweet. It's my second Father's Day without him, and we lost him June 2nd of 2023. But I grew up very, very, very fortunate with my father. Instilling in me the love of the outdoors and hunting and fishing and I mean, there are pictures of me wrapped in an old blue blanket and stuffed in an old decoy bag, which back in the in the mid 70s was a gunny sack,
right?
Right. I mean, soaked in gasoline and everything else, But I remember being in, I was in Biomeda at 2 and 3 years of age, BB gun, 4 or 5 years of age, shooting cripples with a BB gun in the Biomeda scatters, and then to this day, that flooded green timber down there is it's my favorite place in the world to be, and it's because of my dad. Grew up hunting at Jackson Point, grew up on Lake Ouachita, fishing Lake Ouachita and water skiing. And the only thing that he never really made me was a big fisherman. And it's because my dad was one of those guys that go out in the next cast, there'd be a lunker at the end of them. And, when you're 6, 7 years old and the next cast is 6 hours later,
Yeah, I think our fathers kind of ruined a lot of us on fishing. My dad wasn't really into it, but those were back in the days when you went out and you stayed out all day, regardless of how hot it was. These days we know a little bit better than that.
Well, and you fished.
You fished.
You didn't catch. You fished.
That's right.
It's like hunting. You don't, it's not the kill, it's the hunt. Now, he did.
When I'm 10 years old and the fish are biting,
I don't want to be there, Ray. I don't want to be there. Yeah, but that's exactly right. Yeah, don't want to be there.
And I was fishing with my dad, and back in the day you sculled.
Yeah.
And I looked down, and there was a water moccasin draped over a log that was bigger around as my dad's arm. And I was getting ready to cast out there. He said, no, we back that baby up. You keep your eye out for those babies.
Yeah.
You were talking about Jackson Point. I was hunting with your dad down there one time, and the way that place was. We were squirrel hunting.
Oh, yeah.
And we were chasing a squirrel. We got it up in a tree, and it was one of those things where you went around that tree 3 times, and next thing you know, you didn't know where you were.
Mm-hmm.
And he and I had to sit there and debate that for about a good 5, 6, 7 minutes because there was only one way to go to get to the right way, and both of us were about to go the wrong way.
15,000 acres is a lot of property.
Yes, it is, and it all looks the same.
It all looks the same.
we,
Yeah.
we need to bring Jess Essex into this conversation.
All right, so we got with us now one of the great raconteurs of Arkansas, the Undertaker himself, the man, Jess Essex, the former coroner for Arkansas County, longtime owner of Essex Funeral Home, and one of the most, I don't know how you describe it. He's just one of the most hunters I know. He's also a fisherman. Jess Essex, welcome to Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors, and happy Father's Day.
Lay it on thick, Brian. You know I love it when you do.
Well, you know,
Now, the only thing you didn't mention about all those laudatory titles, I'm a former coroner owner and former owner of this funeral home, and I also swept out the place at night. So, you know,
well, you're still doing that, though.
yeah.
Jess, can
I don't even have to talk on this show tonight, Brian. When you said, would you talk on our show about hunting with your daddy? And that's all I've thought about all day long, and it has been a pure, absolute, it's been a glut of wonderfully pleasurable reminiscences with myself. Be glad to share any of them that you want, but my dad, as your dad, everybody thinks their dad was the best guy to hunt with.
No,
But
I would.
But my dad was a great guy to hunt with, and he came up in that tradition, and I've been thinking about what in this limited venue, what one or two stories could I tell you that best encapsulated what my dad did for me to make me an outdoorsman, or if it did to help me become that. And there are many things, but first of all, he always had time to take me, and most generally he was looking to take me. This wasn't exactly a pure motivation. If you got a carload of boys, you always got a lot of guys that, boys, get out and push us out of this mud hole.
right.
That always worked out pretty well for him. But he always took us. And another thing that I want to tell you that occurred to me was I learned going duck hunting with my daddy how men behave around other men.
Mm-hmm.
I was just a little boy, and I really had never been out in any kind of an event or any kind of social thing where it was just a bunch of men together doing what men do. And I learned how to be a man from being around those men. And they never spoke down to me. They made concessions for my youth and inexperience, I'm certain of that. But they always spoke to me like I had good sense, even when they knew I didn't. And now, looking back on it, I just appreciate that more than I can say. So,
Well, let me set the table here. You know, I'm gonna piggyback on to exactly what you said here when we come back out of the break here, which is at least I didn't get too far into it. But we're going to take a little break, make a little money. We got Jess Essex from DeWitt. We've got Jeb Burnett. We got the great Ray Tucker on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. Come back and join us.
The name says it all, and you'll find Honda's best models at Honda of North Little Rock, as they're your one-stop destination for quality motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides. If you have a passion for adventure, head on over to Honda of North Little Rock, as they cater to both thrill seekers and outdoor enthusiasts. Whether you're hitting the trails, cruising the roads, or exploring rugged terrain, we'll find the perfect ride for you. Nothing matches Honda's power, reliability, and innovation. Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters. When you're out and about in the natural state, whether it's work or play, be sure to make W's Convenience Stores your one-stop shop. With 34 locations in central Arkansas, they're easy to find. Headed to the lake or just taking in the beauty of Arkansas? Stop in at your nearest W's location. Their double blend of coffee is always hot and fresh. Snacks, W's has them. Want more than a snack? Many W's have hot delis. And don't forget the hot breakfast sandwiches.
Doublebee's, where you gas it, grab it, and go.
The leader in sportsbook apps in the state of Arkansas, Bet Saracen, has a club you might want to consider joining. It's the perfect offer for you if you like to play parlays. Head over to the Bet Saracen app, opt in, and get all the details on how to earn bonus cash with the Parlay Bonus Club. It's active through June, and it could be the key to stacks of sportsbook bonus cash. The Parlay Bonus Club on the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When was the last time you went exploring in Arkansas? More importantly, when was the last time you went exploring the natural state on a Honda from Honda of North Little Rock? There are hundreds of miles of trails and back roads to discover. So if you have a passion for adventure, we have just the perfect Honda for you. Our new showroom is just that, as we show off Honda's best models of ATVs, motorcycles, and side-by-sides. We'll find you the perfect ride. Stop in today at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Want to get in on the conversation? Shoot us a text at the D3 Auto Sales text line at 501-614-1037. D3 Auto Sales in Desart, the #1 independent dealer in the state, with the best prices and largest selection on pre-owned vehicles, including leveled and lifted trucks. Find them on Facebook. Whether it's football, baseball, or basketball, from high school to the pros, hit us up on the D3 Auto Sales text line.
A sale 200 million years in the making. It's Gwatney Buick GMC's loan and lease extinction event. Get out of that old fossil into a new GMC Sierra starting as low as $479 a month. Every new Buick on the lot at 0.9%. During Gwatney Buick GMC's loan and lease extinction event, we're rendering your current loan completely extinct. Make an appointment to get out of the dinosaur you're currently driving. 501-945-4444. 2025 Sierra 2500 HD. Right now, get up to $12,000 off MSRP. Sierra 1500 with up to $12,500 off. Terrain's at just $279 per month. It's the loan and lease extinction event at Gwatney Buick GMC, 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. Some vehicles require qualifying trade-in. All offers with approved credit. Stock numbers 30833, 31064, 31456. Terrain is a low mileage lease.
The name says it all, and you'll find Honda's best models at Honda of North Little Rock, as they're your one-stop destination for quality motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides. If you have a passion for adventure, head on over to Honda of North Little Rock, as they cater to both thrill seekers and outdoor enthusiasts. Whether you're hitting the trails, cruising the roads, or exploring rugged terrain, we'll find the perfect ride for you. Nothing matches Honda's power, reliability, and innovation. Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters. Welcome back to Rick Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. We're coming to you live from our Honda of North Little Rock studios. We're here Monday nights, 7 to 8 o'clock, talking about various things outdoors, anything from hunting, fishing, hang gliding, falconry, biking, cycling, you name it. We've covered it, Brian, over the last 10 years.
We've covered it all. We've covered it like a blanket. Tonight we're honoring our fathers a day late, but that's the way it is. We can do that because we're Americans and we're free. But I was going to piggyback on something that Jess said earlier, and we kind of have this in common a little bit, Jess. You know, my dad was a former judge, and he was an attorney, and he was just always on. You know, he was always in character, just like you were talking about. And when I got with him in the duck woods, duck hunting was his thing, and that's, I would say, one of the few times when I was with him duck hunting is when I saw him as he actually was. The real essence of the man came out there, and that's, I think, probably more than anything why I loved to duck hunt with him so much, because he was the worst caller in the world and taught me all the bad things that I had to be taught out of, and all that. But I just loved being with him out there because I saw my dad for who he was out there.
Well, you know, and that's the way it was. There were three of us boys. We kind of stepped down. We were all a year or two apart in age. And whenever duck season came around, we were going hunting, and we always had friends that duck hunted. And most weekends, now one thing is that Mama wouldn't allow us missing school to go duck hunting. That wasn't going to happen. We got to duck hunt on weekends and Christmas holidays, and that was it. But and if we went Sundays, you better get yourself in time in church for church, and we did. But anyway, we always had a caboodle of boys along with my dad going hunting. We were in the funeral business, as you mentioned. We had a flower van, and during duck season, Daddy would pull all the flower handling equipment out of the van, and he had a couple old pickup truck seats that he threw up in the back of that van, and he'd be driving down the road and have 6 knothead boys in the back, you know, punching and jabbing and gouging and poking at one another, carrying on, going duck hunting. And that's the way it was. And I don't know the number of people in the town of DeWitt, Arkansas, over the years that have come up to me and say, you know, yes, I remember going hunting with your dad, and then they launched into a story about a wonderful duck hunt they had with my dad somewhere. And I may have been long on the hunt. I may not have been long on the hunt. But he always was packing along, especially when us kids were, you know, at home growing up. He was always packing along a gang of teenage boys. And that's another one of those sneaky little reasons. If you got a pack of teenage boys along with you, you got your own indentured servants along on the hunt.
Now, Jess,
Bobby, run up there. I forgot and left my shells under the seat of my truck. Get my shotgun shells out from underneath. Yes, sir. Booga, 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 booga. They run just as hard as they can run to the truck and get the shells and booga, 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 just as hard as they can run all the way back.
Now,
You know, and it was like that all day long. Daddy didn't do
Jess,
diddly squat. He just followed
your
stuff
dad's
around.
not the only one who had long stories.
Well, they didn't mean to shut you down.
Oh, I'm sorry. Now listen, boys, I'm not the least bit sensitive here. If I'm talking too long, you say, shut up, Jess, and I'll shut up. So, you know.
We don't ever tell anybody to shut up. This day and age, do people say guys who don't have a son and they got 3 or 4 kids in the neighborhood like Jess is talking about? Do they reach out and talk to the moms and say, "Hey, can I take them hunting? Can I take them fishing?" Does that
I
happen?
think they should.
Yeah.
Now I have 2 sons, so you know we take them hunting. But I think if you want to continue the legacy of hunting and sportsmanship and the outdoor sports, maybe more of them should do that. If you've got a daughter, she doesn't hunt, she doesn't want to hunt, or if she does, you know, if there's some boys in the neighborhood. Don't have a dad. I think that's a great way of furthering the sport.
Now, Brian, we had a young lady on that alligator hunts and duck hunts, and
Yeah, you know, and that's attributable to her dad and her brother because she and her brother are very competitive. So you know, you got that involved too. You know, I do it a little different way. You know, it's a little bit tricky these days for grown men to approach a youngster. But one thing that I do is I've got a lot of people that I know that are, young guys in their 20s and maybe their wives or their girlfriends. They like to do this stuff, but they don't know where to go, who to go with, or what to do. So I take them.
Well, mentoring at any age. I mean, adult men need mentors. So, mentoring them at any age, and particularly doing it in the woods, hunting, or on the water fishing.
I got to get you closer to that microphone.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Here we go. We're going to do this right.
Mentoring. Is that a college word for learning how to behave?
That is exactly what that is.
That's what we got.
College word for
learn how to behave.
Act right. That's the college word for act right.
Well, I'll tell you this also. You can go through all the hunter ed classes that you want, but until your dad rips you up one side and down the other for pointing a gun where you shouldn't point it.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, yeah.
Every lesson, every hard lesson I've learned in my life has pretty much been taught by my father, and most of them were taught in the woods.
Yeah.
So.
I was thinking of another funny. Well, we're about to go to another break here, so I'm not going to start this off. But it's a pretty good story. But we are very thankful for our fathers, and our mothers that either facilitated this or allowed it or looked the other way and just realize that dads do what dads do.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to take a break here on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors, coming to you live from our Honda North Little Rock studios here on 103.7 The Buzz. When was the last time you went exploring in Arkansas? More importantly, when was the last time you went exploring the natural state on a Honda from Honda of North Little Rock? There are hundreds of miles of trails and back roads to discover. So if you have a passion for adventure, we have just the perfect Honda for you. Our new showroom is just that, as we show off Honda's best models of ATVs, motorcycles, and side-by-sides. We'll find you the perfect ride. Stop in today at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
It's a tough time. Injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
This is Anthony Lucas, here to tell you about my favorite spot in Little Rock, Corky's. Sure, Corky's may look all ribs and barbecue on the outside, but did you know Corky's was also nominated for Central Arkansas's best catfish? And don't get me started on their chicken, shrimp, and nachos.
Those Big Joe burgers, Anthony.
Big Joe, when did you get here?
You really stealing my thunder, Anthony. Corky's is my place.
No way you love Corky's like me, Joe.
Talk to me when you have your own menu item, Lucas.
Corky's ribs and barbecue.
Attention Arkansas homeowners. Bath Makeover of Arkansas started with 50, then 30. Now we've reached the final days. Looking for 20 homeowners to participate in our Spring Into Savings event and receive test market pricing on a beautiful new walk-in shower. Bath Makeover is looking to evaluate our exciting new product lines in real bathroom conditions, including our revolutionary new laser etch shower wall system. That's right, you'll be compensated for your time just to determine if our exquisite product lines are the right fit for your bathroom project. Final days. 20 homeowners who call 1-800-NEW-BATH will receive 50% off installation of a new walk-in shower. Ask about 0% interest financing options. Senior and military discounts. Receive a $200 Visa gift card with purchase and call 1-800-NEW-BATH now to receive a $25 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. That's right. The first 20 homeowners to call Bath Makeover of Arkansas at 1-800-NEW-BATH receive these special savings. Bath Makeover of Arkansas proudly serves the full state of Arkansas, offering custom bathing solutions such as bathtubs, showers, and walk-in bathtubs. In addition to a lifetime product warranty and 5-year workmanship warranty, Bath Makeover of Arkansas offers a price lock guarantee, meaning once you receive a free design consultation, your price is locked in no matter what. Final days. 20 homeowners who call 1-800-NEW-BATH will receive 50% off installation of a new walk-in shower. Ask about 0% interest financing options. Senior and military discounts. Receive a $200 Visa gift card with purchase and call 1-800-NEW-BATH now to receive a $25 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH. 1-800-NEW-BATH. 1-800-NEWBATH.
The name says it all, and you'll find Honda's best models at Honda of North Little Rock, as they're your one-stop destination for quality motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides. If you have a passion for adventure, head on over to Honda of North Little Rock, as they cater to both thrill seekers and outdoor enthusiasts. Whether you're hitting the trails, cruising the roads, or exploring rugged terrain, we'll find the perfect ride for you. Nothing matches Honda's power, reliability, and innovation. Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters. Time now to talk to Neil Atkinson with Saracen Casino Resort. Neil, how are you this evening?
Doing very good. Everybody's really excited after that incredible performance earlier today. History-making day at the College World Series with the no-hitter. Hats off to them, and it was special to see. And we're waiting to see on who they're going to have to play tomorrow. Right now, LSU is up on UCLA. I think it was at 5-3 right now, start of the fourth. So we'll see who they play tomorrow night. And also got a little NBA finals action tonight. Series is tied up. However, they're back in Oklahoma City. And Oklahoma City is a big 10.5-point favorite tonight with the over and under of 223.
What about Ohtani?
Yeah, tonight, when that one goes off later on tonight, I think a lot of eyes are going to be on that. Shohei Ohtani and Rick made sure I knew how to pronounce his name properly a couple of weeks ago, so I think I got it right. But, yeah, he's got his first start in 2 years, and there's a lot of action around that game tonight. And check out the Bet Saracen special. We've got one with him to have over two or more strikeouts and hit a home run. And we've got that one boosted up at plus 600. If you would do that in a normal prop, it'd only pay $525. So a lot of people interested in that, and a lot of people are on a baseball high right now after what the Hogs were able to accomplish today.
Well, here's a good thing, and I don't know if you had anything to do with this. I think there is a weather delay in Omaha right now.
Yeah.
And so that means the starting pitchers have pretty much been wasted for this game for both these teams. And let it rain for a while and let them play till midnights all week here.
To get involved in the College World Series, we'll let her do it. You don't mess around with that one. So looking forward to that one.
All right, I know you're in Philadelphia. Have a good evening up there, Neil, okay?
Need to be back already.
I appreciate
60
it.
degrees up here.
Appreciate it very much. You folks download the app, betsaracen.com.
And we're back with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. We have in studio with us Jeb Burnett of the Natural Steps area, owner of Armtac. We also have on the line Jess, the Undertaker Essex, one of the great sportsmen of Southeast Arkansas, and got kind of schooled by Rex Nelson this Sunday on how to refer to that. Y'all are not in the Delta. You're in the Grand Prairie, right?
If you were looking at where DeWitt is located on the map from a satellite photo, you couldn't say that we're not. The whole Grand Prairie is on the Delta.
Amen.
But we are in the Grand Prairie, and that makes it different. Demographically, it was different. And agriculturally, it was different. And the affluence of those farmers on the Grand Prairie was a little bit better than the folks in the surrounding territories because we had rice, and we had and that rice was a hell of a cash crop in the early 1900s. It truly was. And my great uncle negotiated to buy a 600-acre tract of ground on the Grand Prairie in 1918, and had it paid for by 1922. You could make money farming rice, and they did. And of course, you could also feed a lot of ducks.
Now I don't know how old you are, Jess, but do you remember hunting the prairie chickens down there?
Extent when I came on the scene. We subsidized a whole lot of discussion at public meetings about reestablishing the prairie chickens on the Grand Prairie, and all the farmers just shut us down because it was going to adversely affect their financial picture. So they weren't interested in it.
So we were talking some dad stories earlier. You know, when I got older, into my 20s, my dad always liked to carry a little bottle of peach schnapps into the
Call sweet.
Yeah, into the.
We called that sausage and biscuits over where we were. Did you bring the sausage and biscuits? Yeah, I got it right here. We'll pass it down here.
Well, there was another place that I hunted up. It was
That's a classic.
Yeah, Piney Creeks, and they did that to a different extent up near Brinkley, and they had all that stuff in wooden lockers, nailed to the trees that were hidden by camouflage drapes.
You had written about that, and I recall that, yeah.
And so, at the end of the hunt, suddenly, and then they would pull these tables out. They were folding tables. I don't know where they kept them, but you turn your head and you turn back around, and they had tables in the water with stoves on them and everything. They really did have sausage and biscuits there, along with the liquid versions too.
I hunted with the late Rex Hancock one year and a group of doctors out of Chicago. And amazingly, they knew about the peach schnapps. They all had them in their jackets.
Oh, peach and the peppermint and the hops. That came out.
We weren't quite as sophisticated. We didn't know anything about schnapps. We went for the peach brandy, but it was all the same thing.
All right. So, Jeb, we were talking during the break about various things, and there was a story you wanted to share.
Oh yeah. One of the lessons Dad always taught me is if you kill it, you clean it.
Right.
And Dad loved to squirrel hunt. And we squirrel hunted down at Jackson Point. We squirrel hunted all over, but we squirrel hunted down at Jackson Point a lot. And I am a shoot him in the head with a .22 squirrel hunter, and my dad tromps through the woods with a 12-gauge shotgun and kills every squirrel that is within range. We were out there hunting one day, and I'd shot, I think, 4 or 5 squirrels is all I shot. 22 through the head, as I like to do. And about noon, Dad finally rolls up. He said, "Help me clean these squirrels. I got into a mess of them." I'm not going to say, well, I guess it doesn't matter now because I was 14. I'm 51 now, so statute of limitations is passed. But I think he had shot 21 or 22 fox squirrels.
It's hard to quit.
It's very hard to quit, and he was just bloodthirsty that day. And he said, "Help me clean these squirrels." Well, I'd just finished cleaning my 4 or 5 squirrels I'd shot once in the head with a .22, because that's all I want to clean. And I sat down, and I got through a couple of his squirrels, and I looked at him, and I said, "What happened to you kill it, you clean it?" And I flipped that lesson back on him, and I retired to my four-wheeler and went to the four-wheeler riding area. Well, I came back 2.5 hours later, and he was just finishing up the last squirrel, red-faced, madder than a hornet. But, he wasn't mad at me because he's the one that taught me that lesson.
Right.
But I'll tell you, Brian, I think that may have been the last squirrel he ever killed. And he was, that would have been about 88. My dad would have been 50. He would have been my age, and I don't think he killed another squirrel in his life till he passed away at 84.
He killed a few with me.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then he killed a few more, but man, he absolutely hated cleaning them. And that's why I never had a problem cleaning them, because I shoot 4 of them with a .22 and I'm done.
And it's clean.
Yeah. And, my .22s don't make any noise, so I don't have to. I sit at the bottom of a tree and I'll kill 4.
Well, I've said for years that if they want conservation of the wildlife to occur, all they have to do is just make it a federal law that you have to clean what you kill.
Absolutely.
And the mortality rate's going to drop.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And, it was the same thing. You remember the first time I killed a duck, and I had to do that too. And I think I was 11 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I did not want to stick my hand up in that and drag all that stuff out of there. And I mean, you talk about making a very simple job very complicated and long, because I just couldn't do it. I finally did. And it's nothing now, but back then the smell and the that cold,
the texture,
all of that.
Oh yeah,
it's just roll off into it and do it.
That's exactly right. I'll never forget cleaning my first deer and getting blooded.
And what spoiled me on it was my dad squeezing air back through the duck's mouth and making it quack. It was like, oh man.
Some people think that's funny. I never thought that was funny.
Well, Ray doesn't think it's funny either. He's thinking about going to an early break over here.
Well, you can twerk a bullfrogs too and make them kick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did that clinic. Yeah.
Hey, Jess, we appreciate you very much joining us tonight. Always very humorous when you're on the show with us. Hope to see you down the road. Okay.
Well.
So what now?
Jess, we're out of time. We appreciate you.
Jess, Ray's mic is off, but we're going to take a break.
Oh, no.
And we appreciate you joining us, Jess. We'll see you soon down the road. Okay, bro?
That always helps. Okay.
Yes,
all right. Thank you.
Okay.
Lord, how many years I've been in this business? When was the last time you went exploring in Arkansas? More importantly, when was the last time you went exploring the natural state on a Honda from Honda of North Little Rock? There are hundreds of miles of trails and back roads to discover. So if you have a passion for adventure, we have just the perfect Honda for you. Our new showroom is just that, as we show off Honda's best models of ATVs, motorcycles, and side-by-sides. We'll find you the perfect ride. Stop in today at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
A sale 200 million years in the making. It's Gwatney Buick GMC's loan and lease extinction event. Get out of that old fossil into a new GMC Sierra starting as low as $479 a month. Every new Buick on the lot at 0.9%. During Gwatney Buick GMC's loan and lease extinction event, we're rendering your current loan completely extinct. Make an appointment to get out of the dinosaur you're currently driving. 501-945-4444. 2025 Sierra 2500 HD. Right now, get up to $12,000 off MSRP. Sierra 1500 with up to $12,500 off. Terrain's at just $279 per month. It's the loan and lease extinction event at Gwatney Buick GMC, 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. Some vehicles require qualifying trade-in. All offers with approved credit. Stock numbers 30833, 31064, 31456. Terrain is a low-mileage lease.
The name says it all, and you'll find Honda's best models at Honda of North Little Rock, as they're your one-stop destination for quality motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides. If you have a passion for adventure, head on over to Honda of North Little Rock, as they cater to both thrill seekers and outdoor enthusiasts. Whether you're hitting the trails, cruising the roads, or exploring rugged terrain, we'll find the perfect ride for you. Nothing matches Honda's power, reliability, and innovation. Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
When you're out and about in the natural state, whether it's work or play, be sure to make Doubleby's convenience stores your one-stop shop. With 34 locations in central Arkansas, they're easy to find. Headed to the lake or just taking in the beauty of Arkansas? Stop in at your nearest Doubleby's location. Their double blend of coffee is always hot and fresh. Snacks, Doubleby's has them. Want more than a snack? Many Doubleby's have hot delis. And don't forget the hot breakfast sandwiches. Doubleby's, where you gas it, grab it, and go.
Tickets are on sale now for Countdown to Kickoff, presented by Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, July 24th at the Hall, featuring Bobby Petrino and Taylon Green, plus former Hawks Casey Dick and Niall Davis, with dinner from Corky's. Get your tickets at LittleRockHall.com. Countdown to Kickoff, presented by Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and brought to you in part by Oaklawn Sports, the Gangster Museum and the Hattery of Hot Springs, First Trust Home Loans, AY Magazine, Arkansas Money and Politics, Tito's Handmade Vodka, and Connect Service Solutions. Special thanks to Corky's Ribs and Barbecue and Party Time Rental and Events.
The best memories always happen outside. Hiking forest trails, paddling on glassy lakes, watching a waterfall roaring after rain, roasting s'mores under a sky full of stars. And with 52 incredible Arkansas state parks around the state, all that's missing is you. So what are you waiting for? Pick your park and plan your adventure at ArkansasStateParks.com.
Brought to you by Arkansas State Parks, this station, and the ABA.
Most people think HR is pushing out payroll and filling out forms, but you know better. You're looking to shape culture, drive strategy, and truly lead people. And on June 24th, you can be seen and heard at the TPC Together Conference. Attend sessions to help grow and strengthen your organization and connect with a community that actually gets what you do. June 24th at the Oasis Hotel and Convention Center in Springfield. Space is limited, so register now for the HR event that's redefining what's possible. The TPC Together Conference.
Welcome back to Rick Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. Coming to you live from our Honda North Little Rock studios. Delighted to have a longtime friend, Pro Football Hall of Famer, Chicago Bear great, Dan Hampton on the air with us. Hamp, how are you?
Well, Mr. Tucker, I'm doing just splendid. I got to tell you, I was listening to all the different ads on the waiting on you, and I got to tell you, I miss Arkansas. I'm going to be headed that way pretty soon, but it's a thrill to be talking to you, and I couldn't be happy about it.
Have you done any fishing lately?
I think the fishing was just an excuse to drive, the bass boat. But, we had a lot of fun fishing. We had a lot of fun golfing. We had a lot of fun. And I just want to say, for all the folks listening, even if I've been in that, local for a long time, the Paul Earle days, you've become like Mr. of Arkansas. And I'm so glad that you're still here, buddy.
Well, you know what, Hamp? I've been single for 31 wonderful years. I have no children, so I can fish and hunt, and I can do whatever heck I want to when I want to.
Well, I got to tell you, that being one of the things that we all in life, I got to balance. I got to tell you, I was able to watch a little bit of the Razorback baseball win today, and I'm sure you've thought about it. Hey, I've got some friends up in the Fayetteville area in that watch, and they've gone baseball crazy, and this is going to be fun watching, cooks out.
When was the last time you did fish?
It was about 5 years ago, and down in Florida, they got the center console boats, and then you go out and you leave early in the morning, and it's about 10 o'clock. We had done, very little good, and I talked everybody into, around after lunch. I know you have been one of the guys that have always been, catching the fish. You and I went up. What was it at the trout? Back in the day, Wayne Woods, our dear friend, no longer with us.
Yeah,
I think Wayne was a part of that. We had a ball.
All right, let's do this. I'm going to change the subject a little bit. Tell us what Dan Hampton's up to these days.
Well, during the season, I got a couple of radio shows and shows during the football season, specifically the Chicago Bears, and it's going to be an exciting year. We finally found a pretty special quarterback in the draft last year, Caleb Williams, and this year we found a pretty special coach. I had the opportunity to go see him about 2 weeks ago, and he and I were talking, and I said, this is the most coach the Bears have ever hired. And we laughed. Mike Decker was the special teams coach when he was hired to be the Bear coach. Well, this guy, Ben Johnson, he's run the best offense in football if you put the last 3 years offense numbers together. So, for forever and a day, the Chicago Bears have been synonymous with. And, well, guess what? I think it's a new day. We've actually got a quarterback. We've actually got a head coach that knows what to do with the quarterback. So I'm excited about that. My wife and son, we're down in Florida as we speak, and we'll be headed back north here pretty quick. But I travel quite a bit. I've got a couple of businesses, but I still, like I said, I like to hit a golf ball once in a while, and every once in a while I like to go out and bait a hook.
Dan Hampton, this is Brian Hendricks. If you could be on the water anywhere, doing chasing anything that you wanted right now, where would that be? What would you be fishing? Ray's laughing at me. I need to rephrase that. What would you be fishing for right now?
Those are the days, my friend. I got to tell you, spent a lot of time, trying to catch bass, all in the central part of. The river was the river's hard. You got to really, really be good at your craft. We caught a lot of fish up at Heber. We caught a lot of fish on Washita, but outdoors. And, you know, I haven't duck hunted in a long time, but I used to love to go duck hunting, even if you're in chest waders, and you're up to your, you know, your rib cage and 28-degree weather or whatever, you know, it's 28 degrees or 33. And just to be outside, being in the, you know, the outdoors was great, but on a lake, first thing in the morning or at dusk, you know, trying to catch some bass. And you know, I know, Ray, you went with me many times to Ouachita. So I think Ouachita would have to be right at the top of the list.
All right, I got to ask you this question. We just got a couple of minutes left, Ham. Fill me in on your children, what they're up to. I know they're very athletic.
And he played football up through high school, but it was the COVID era up in Indiana where we lived, and they shut the season down. And anyway, went off in some different directions. He's in the automotive world right now. My daughter did go to college on played at South Florida there in Tampa Bay, and she started 4 years, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, but evidently if you're really good and you get 1,000 kills and 1,000 digs, then you get gold volleyball. And when she was a senior, she was only the third female to ever get the gold volleyball when she graduated. And my goodness, that's been almost 8 years ago. So, you know, the kids are great, and you know, like I say, I got a place in Florida, and we live in Indiana. We left the Chicago area about 5 years ago with all the kind of craziness and the COVID stuff. So a lot, but like I said, still have time to get out and try to bait a hook and find a titleist once in a blue moon.
Hamp, appreciate you taking time to join us. Hope I get to see you when you come through here, okay?
Let's try to get together and go out there and catch something that we can fry up.
All right, Hamp, tell your family hello. Appreciate you very much.
All right.
The legendary Dan Hampton. Back with more in just a moment. When was the last time you went exploring in Arkansas? More importantly, when was the last time you went exploring the natural state on a Honda from Honda of North Little Rock? There are hundreds of miles of trails and back roads to discover. So if you have a passion for adventure, we have just the perfect Honda for you. Our new showroom is just that, as we show off Honda's best models of ATVs, motorcycles, and side-by-sides. We'll find you the perfect ride. Stop in today at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Hi, this is Joe Klein, former Razorback and owner of Corky's Ribs and Barbecue.
And I'm Anthony Lucas, also a proud former Razorback and Corky's Barbecue regular customer.
We may represent different sports in different decades, but all generations of hogs agree.
Corky's is the only place to get the most delicious ribs and barbecue at a winning price.
So stop into Corky's now and every day for never-ending specials.
Corky's,
where the hogs come home, baby.
Corky's Ribs and Barbecue.
It's a tough time. Injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
If you're trying to get through your daily activities and you're noticing you can't because you're focusing more on your pain than being able to enjoy the moment, those are the patients that we're looking to treat because we can make a difference.
That's Dr. Ashley Caravelli, a medical director for QC Kinetics.
What we're doing at QC Kinetics is offering treatments that help with joint preservation. We use cutting-edge technology in our in-house lab to harness your body's natural healing powers and target the areas where you need them the most.
These are regenerative, non-surgical treatments, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader, delivering lasting relief to tens of thousands of patients.
What we do know is that the sooner we start treatment, the sooner you'll see relief.
So don't wait another minute. See if you're a good candidate for these non-surgical treatments for joint pain. The consultation is completely free.
Call QC Kinetics, 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440.
On your way to the Little Rock Airport, business travelers park fast at Expressway Airport parking. As you park, our shuttle picks you up, and a 60-second ride later, you're at the airport. Download our app and earn rewards. Simply scan the virtual gate pass to enter and scan again to exit. No waiting, and your receipt is emailed to you. Pay less than municipal airport parking at Expressway Airport parking, left of the airport entrance, next to the Comfort Inn.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The name says it all, and you'll find Honda's best models at Honda of North Little Rock, as they're your one-stop destination for quality motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides. If you have a passion for adventure, head on over to Honda of North Little Rock, as they cater to both thrill seekers and outdoor enthusiasts. Whether you're hitting the trails, cruising the roads, or exploring rugged terrain, we'll find the perfect ride for you. Nothing matches Honda's power, reliability, and innovation. Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
She built the house.
There we go, sports fans. I actually turn my microphone on when I'm talking. That works a lot better that way.
And we're back with Ray. Ray's with us on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors, and we're visiting with Jeb Burnett. Gonna wrap it up here. We're talking about our dads. We're honoring our fathers the day after Father's Day, and my dad died in 1998, and kind of adopted yours, and he adopted me a little bit, and
he did.
Came into your family like that too. I met you through him, but I was thinking about, you and I going, you and me and him going down to Duck Lane there that one time, and gosh, when was that? In the springtime, and we were just looking around for duck holes and stuff. And,
just taking a boat ride. Yeah. That was good times, man. And I have that club now, so
yeah.
And Dad filled it with his friends, and I grew up around all those gentlemen. That's one of the things that Jess was talking about. Learning to be a man, and I learned to be a man by from all those men. So yeah,
we were we were talking about our dads teaching us to hunt, kind of teaching us how to do things the right way, in some cases the wrong
way, sure.
But how did your dad instill in you a love for the canvas, the scene, the lifestyle?
Well, he took me.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing, is he was always willing to take me. And my dad wasn't a churchgoer, but he was a very godly man. In his church was those woods, and I grew up in that church. And it's not real hard to appreciate the canvas when that's all you've ever known. And I kind of have a hard time putting into words his love of the outdoors and his love of nature, and that was church. That was church to my dad. That was everything that God represented was in the woods and was painted, painted on the sky, and in the trees and the hills and the, even the dirty brown backwaters of the Mississippi River or Bahamita. It was, my religious experiences were in the woods with my dad, and hunting.
What you and I are kind of a generation. We're kind of bookended a little bit. You're a little bit younger than me, but I think that we were raised by men of roughly the same age and of the same makeup.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just kind of part of the lifestyle of growing up in Arkansas at that time. It's changed.
It has.
Changed quite a lot. Where are dads missing the boat, and where are they getting it right? Some examples.
I think part of the issue, and you can certainly see this in society, is dads try to be friends instead of dads.
Mm-hmm.
My daddy was never my friend. He was my daddy, and I knew he was my dad first and foremost. I think that's a big part of it. The being present. If your kid's interested in anything, whether it's hunting or fishing or football or soccer or maybe another pursuit, maybe something you're not interested in, take an interest in what your kids are doing. My dad was never a car guy. I'm a car guy. I love fast cars. I love Corvettes. Both of my kids do, because they have grown up around that, but they also love the outdoors. They love to hunt. But just taking an interest in your children's lives, whether it's a son or a daughter, being a present father, I think is the biggest key to all of it. And man, I hope my kids believe I am as present as I believe my dad was. I never had to beg to go hunting or for dad to spend time with me. He was a hard-working guy. He worked during the week, but come the weekends, that was playtime, and I was with him all the time on the weekends, whether it was in the woods hunting or on the golf course playing golf. So
we were talking just a second ago, Brian. You were saying how hot it's going to get. You said 107. I don't know if that's a heat index or what it is.
Ick.
But this is a different time of the year, and one of the things the sunrises and the sunsets are some of the prettiest you'll ever see. You get out in the Delta and areas you're talking about in hunting and fishing and whatever, some great sunsets, a lot of farming going on or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so we encourage people to get out and see the natural state, see what this state has to offer. We got some great state parks.
52 of them. Yeah. Make it a bucket list to go see them all.
I know you had a little write-up, something about state park, and I promise you I will reach out to those folks. It's a different administration than what we dealt with before, where we could usually just call a state park and get somebody on to talk about the state park. But we would like to feature those coming up,
Absolutely, and so many, it showcases some of the best areas in the state, and they're worth going to. A lot of them have great fishing, too. We could get into that, and that'd be another 30 minutes, but Jeb Burnett, I'd like to thank you for coming in tonight. It's always a pleasure to see you. Thank you, Jess Essex, for joining us.
And Big Dan Hampton. You folks have a great week. Get out and enjoy the Arkansas Outdoors.